back and you're still watching Iskoolmates.
Alright, Hesa, alam mo, sobrang ganda ng palitan ng mga kuro-kuro ng ating mga debaters dito. At alam mo ba, napatunayan ko yung mga naririnig ko na sobrang gagaling talaga ng mga scholar ng bayan dito sa PUP.
Yes. And also, Jules, they gave their different pros and cons regarding the topic. Kung legalize ba natin ang prostitution dito sa Philippines. So, congratulations sa inyo, PUPian!
Okay. Kaya naman, Hesa, at this point, bibigyan na natin ng chance ang isang speaker sa bawat grupo na ibigay na ang kanilang final statement. Simulan natin yan sa inyo, Maruel.
Sa debating to, kailangan nating timbangin prostitution, again, it has been established, exists, whether or not there is legalization or decriminalization in the Philippine context. So, ngayon, alamin natin, how do we best forward women's rights, especially those women who are subject to prostitution? Is it by criminalizing them? Or is it by looking at the other perspective that they are victims of the oppressive nature of the society? And so we have to give them more rights. We have to humanize them by legalizing their job, by giving them voices in the society where they can complain, where they can refuse, a society na hindi lang sila ibabox sa kung ano sila ngayon, right? Because kung mapapansin natin, no matter how noble it appears, yung mga arguments coming from the negative bench, it's not, because they are clouding our minds na kapag nilegalize natin yung prostitution, bad things will happen, but this is very assumptive at best. What's really going to happen is that we're going to regulate it. We're going to regulate an already existing industry for the protection of these women and for the best interest of the state. So again, if we really want to stop the slut shaming, if we really want to forward women's rights, then we have to take the reasonable ground. Go side with us. Thank you.
We always want to empower women, right? If you're going to look at it, the kind of empowerment we give when we legalize prostitution is you generate profit. You always give them privileges because they already have money. Women empowerment should not only be like that. Women empowerment should include choices where these women are actually satisfied. We don't think these prostitutes are satisfied when they get sex every night with 5 men or more. We think they feel disgusted. That's why they never tell in the whole world, I am a prostitute and this kind of living provides my family at the end of the day. That's why we say, let's criminalize them still. Because in criminalization, you put them in a jail, you put them in prison, wherein you correct the kind of living that they want. That after 4 or 6 years, because that's the current prostitution law in the Philippines, it's not long enough to correct the actions of these women, and maybe soon you're going to see these women already employed in one corporation, already employed in a single job in small, medium enterprises. We think these are more decent jobs, that they no longer be engaging with different men 3 times of their age, 2 times of their age. We don't want that. We don't also sell our women in other countries when they see our country as a haven of prostitution, as a haven of a lot of sex workers. Because we don't sell our own women, but instead, we always want to protect them. Yes, we believe that these women are also victims. But how can you correct the kind of situation that they are in with the kind of system that you're going to impose to them? A system that you're going to exploit them. A system wherein you cannot see what happens inside sexual intercourse. Maybe they can be harassed. Maybe they're going to do things that they want.
Alright, palakpakan natin mga debaters natin. Okay, balikan natin si Miko kasama ang ating mga schoolmates.
Siyempre, meron din pakialam si schoolmate Ralph para sa kanyang final statement. Ralph?
Hi guys, I'm Ralph from College of Political Science and Public Administration. So basically, you have to understand that on the pro side, gusto nila na illegalize yun mainly because there are regulations, mainly because makakat yung stigmas or whatever there is sa mga sex workers. We think kailangan muna nyo munang sagutin, pag ba na-regulate na natin yung sex workers, pag may laws na, napoprotektahan na ba natin yung mga babae? Napoprotektahan na ba natin yung sex workers? Tsaka feeling ko, it does not necessarily mean na natatanggal yung stigma sa mga sex workers because we have to realize that people have their own choices naman. Tsaka people yung mga tao may decisions sila kung ano yung paniniwalaan nila. Sa opposition side naman, under CPSPA, feeling ko, yun sa argumentation nyo na you want to rehabilitate women because there are more opportunities, you guys want to bring them back to societies. The question that you guys have to answer, are there alternatives na mapoprovide ang government, na mapoprovide ang state sa mga tao na nag-enter sa sex works para maprotektahan natin sila? Kasi we have to realize, sabi nyo umpisa pa lang na mahirap sila, hindi sila nakapag-provide. So feeling ko, yun yung issue na kailangan natin i-address. But more importantly, there are a lot of things to consider when it comes to sa legalization ng prostitution. Are we ready? Yung Filipinos ba in the Philippines, ready na ba tayo to legalizing prostitution? Are we ready for, like for example, providing alternatives for these sex workers or whatever? Ready rin ba tayo for the stigma and the repercussions that other people, that other nations, and of course, we Filipinos, yung maiisip ng mga Filipino sa mga kapwa natin Filipinos na nagtatrabaho sa sex industry? Kasi we have to realize that we have to admit and we have to recognize that most Filipinos are conservative.
Maraming
you.
salamat,
Thank you
Ralph.
so much.
Grabe, alam mo.
Galing talaga mga taga-PUB.
Ang
Yeah.
gagaling nila, hindi sapat ang isang episode lang para sa kanila. Dapat dalawang
Isang
episode
season.
para magkasya.
Isang season.
Isang
Oo.
season.
Muli po, gusto namin magpasalamat sa lahat po ng faculty members at lahat ng mga estudyante ng Polytechnic
Thank
you
University
so
of
much.
Philippines.
sa pag-welcome sa
Palakpakan
amin.
yung mga sarili ninyo, ang huhusay po ninyo.
Pero syempre, Miko and Hessa, hindi natin sinasabi dito sa Schoolmates kung ano ang tama at kung ano ang mali. Basically, binibigyan lang natin ng platform yung mga kabataan para pag-usapan yung napakahalagang issue. At dito rin, ibabahagi din namin sa inyo kung ano yung naiisip namin bilang mga host. Una-una, sa tingin ko kasi it's a debate between what is moral and what is practical. But first, we need to recognize that definitely prostitution is really rampant here in the Philippines. Aside from that, job employment is really challenging. Sobrang challenge na dito sa Pilipinas. Next, sexually transmitted diseases are increasing. The data are showing that. And of course, hate crimes also exist. We also need to understand that if we regulate prostitution to control STDs, pwede kasi mangyari to, Hessa and Miko, kung magre-require, let's say, na medical check-up dun sa mga workers, pwede rin na magkaroon ng clearance sa mga doctors bago sila pumunta dun sa job. And of course, kapag na-legalize din natin to, yung mga rights nila, pwedeng ma-protect yan. And gaya nga na sinabi ng grupo kanina na gusto mag-legalize ng prostitution, may mga certain qualifications. But on the other side, kung babalansein natin yung pag-uusap ngayon, meron kasing chilling effect ito sa ating lipunan. Number one, not only the morals and values na sinasabi nating basic values and morals na meron tayo sa lipunan. Yung sinasabi kasi dito ng kabilang grupo na against sa legalization, possible siya Tingin ko hindi siya illogical na posibleng maging gateway to legalize other illegal industries. Kasi i-regulate mo naman So ibig sabihin, lahat ng mga industriya na illegal ngayon sa sitwasyon natin ngayon, kung pwede mo naman palang i-regulate kasi posibleng kumita yung Pilipinas, ba't hindi lang natin gawin yun, di ba? So ito sa tingin ko iba't ibang mga chilling effects. Now, lastly, what should we do? Ano yung kailangan natin ma-realize? Number one, gaya nga sinabi natin kanina, prostitution is really happening here in the Philippines. Yung mga employers, yung may mga hawak na mga sex workers ngayon, mahahabag naman tayo na bigyan nyo naman sila ng mga chances na magpa-medical check-up. Kasi katawan nila ginagamit dito And if ever naman na wala silang mga employers, magpa-check-up din tayo kasi eventually health nyo yung maapektuhan dito. Number two, women and men. Yes, hindi lang natin ito sinasaray usapan sa mga kababaihan, kundi maging sa mga kalalakihan, hindi dapat niya ma-objectify and that is my personal stand on that. But the bottom line is, na kailangan natin ma-emphasize dito, the issue is poverty. Hindi ka naman pupunta sa iba't iba ganitong klaseng usapan kung merong decenteng trabaho na hindi contractual, na hindi na good pay, kung magbibigay ka naman ng sapat na trabaho na ibibigay dito sa mga workers na that. And aside from that, kung sustainable din na may pag-uusapan natin, bigyan natin ng dekalidad na edukasyon yung mga kabataan ngayon para eventually hindi sila papasok sa mga ganitong klaseng trabaho.
Very well said, Jules. Ayan, palakpakan naman natin si Jules.
Right, ayan. Once again, we're not saying what is wrong and right. We're just
you're
providing
entitled
them
to your own
Tama.
opinion.
a platform.
Alright, and with that, sa bawat usapin sa bawat issue, may boses ang kabataan.
Sumali, makinig at makiisa dahil ang opinion nyo ay mahalaga.
Kaya naman, sabay-sabay natin isigaw sa buong mundo, Iskoolmates!